If you were to build a business and start it right now, 90% of all those startup businesses will inevitably fail. 90% of startup businesses fail. Simple as that. I'm sure a lot of you that are entrepreneurs in here know that, but really think about that. Let's just say if there was 500 people in this audience tonight, 90% of all of those 500 people who start a startup business, 90% of them, meaning 450 of you, are doomed to fail from the beginning. Of the 90%, only 10% fail in the first year, meaning in the first year, only about 45 of you actually fail explicitly. And then years 2 to 5, over 315 of you will fail. Meaning years 2 to 5, 70% of all startup businesses are doomed to fail and will inevitably fail. But it's not as obvious after the first year. It's only explicitly obvious in years 2 through 5. And then after 5 years, at some point, the remainder 90 of you will end up failing. 90% of startup businesses fail. It's the sad reality of things. And when you grow up in an era where you don't know what it's like to lose, you learn real quickly what it's like to feel like a loser if you embark on a startup business and it's statistically doomed to fail. And I'm not saying all this to deter you from starting a startup business. I'm saying this so you have a realistic understanding of what it means to approach anything in the 21st century, let alone something as low probability of succeeding like a startup business. And you can even see it up there. 42% of startup businesses fail due to what? Misreading market demands. Meaning, of the 90% who failed, 42% of them are failing. Why? Because they don't even know what they're selling. They don't know how to read the market. They don't know how to produce a product worthy enough to be valued by the market to then what? Be demanded for them to supply that product. 42%, nearly 50%, nearly half of all startup businesses fail due to not knowing their market. And of the remainder 90%, the biggest second majority of why they fail is due to a lack of funding. It's around 33%. Now, that lack of funding could stem from the lack of preparation on the not knowing your market side, because if you know your market, you can obviously market to that you can do more marketing and promotion to that market, and you can finance your budget a little easier because you have a better understanding of what your market demands. 3/4 of all failed startup businesses fail due to simply not being prepared. And there's an ancient Roman senator about 2,000 years ago who claimed that luck is simply preparation meeting opportunity. And the reason why 3/4 of all the startup businesses fail, the reason why they don't know their market, the reason why they don't know how to actually appropriate their fundings the right way is because they're not prepared. They are simply not prepared. You see, Seneca knew this 2,000 years ago, but it was a little more obvious in terms of the necessity for the preparation back when survival at its fittest necessitated you actually surviving and not just thriving. So it's simple. Luck equals preparation plus opportunity. So how can we fix those two things? How can we fix knowing how to read the market before we start our business? And how can we fix ensuring that our finances are responsibly taken care of to ensure that we've delegated our finances in a way where we don't fall into the 32 to 33% statistic of failing due to misappropriating funds? How do we handle those two things? How do we ensure that those two things are taken care of so we can be a part of that 10%? It's simple. Preparation. So the more you prepare in life, the higher probability you have for luck simply when that opportunity meets itself. As a personal trainer, the more prepared I am in my knowledge when it comes to training a client, the more luck I'll have with regards to the results they garner after the implementation of some basic protocol, which we'll get into tonight. And by the way, the protocol we'll get into tonight, you guys will be able to implement right away, immediately tonight, 100% for free. There is no excuse why we don't start expediting our extraordinary quality sooner rather than later. So yeah, the 10%, you could say they were lucky. Easy. They were lucky. But why were they lucky? Maybe it had something to do with the preparation they did. So when the opportunity came for them to start their business, the preparation took care of itself to the point where they were able to be a part of that 10% and become successful in their startup business venture. Now, if you were a part of the 50 in this analogy who was successful, congrats. If you were a part of the 10% who were successful as a startup business, congrats. The one thing you should know, if you were a part of the 90, is all of those that were successful and that were a part of the 10% were once part of the 90%. They experienced failure, learned from it, prepared, recalibrated, and then became a part of the 10%. So how do we ensure that we are as successful as possible in any startup venture? Preparation. That way, when the opportunity comes, you create your own good luck.